Hello and welcome everybody to the Down the Middle podcast. I know you missed us. Sorry we're a day late, but my friend Hakeem here needed the day, so no problem whatsoever. I get it. Like I said, it actually ended up being better for me too, so no problem. Can you say something for me, good buddy, so I can check your audio? Oh, for some reason it's not picking you up. I can hear you, but YouTube's not picking. That might be on my end. Ah, it is on my end. I apologize.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't I don't know why it did that. I can hear you, but YouTube's not picking. That might be on my end. Ah, it is on my end. I apologize.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't know why.
Is it a setting
I
like in
apologize.
OBS or something?
Well, yeah, but now I'm so paranoid. I hope my other recording didn't get screwed up by that. But no, I checked the audio. I think when I play our intro, it has it disabled, so then when I switch back, it automatically disables it.
Gotcha.
Alrighty, well, welcome. Like I said, this podcast tonight is brought to you by our friends at Wizard.ai. I can't talk tonight. And the Final Frontier podcast. More on those later. But tonight, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Our main things we want to cover are our review of Queen of the Ring and apparently AEW Revolution, which I've only seen parts of it. But I want to give a special shout out before we get started with all that. John Cena's promo on Raw.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Holy crap.
I mean a lot of the pipe bomb from Punk. Not as effective, but it remind
It's
me
it's different.
reminiscent of that. Yeah.
You know what's funny though to me? I got the sense with this might just be Cena's skill, but I got the sense that not all, much like the pipe bomb, I got the sense that not all of that was a work.
Oh yeah, it's stuff like people always say, like, they like the fans, but the fans are sometimes the worst people, you know. So
I think one of the highlights for me was when he's like, "You made me the butt of an invisible joke for 15 years," and I'm like, "Yeah, we sure did. Still funny." To be fair, that's on you, John. You're the one who said you can't see me.
yeah, exactly. He's the one who came up with it anyway for
Yeah,
the
that's
start.
that's on you. But I mean, it was great, and I timed it. By the time Cody came out, Raw had been on the air for 25 minutes, and he was
Yeah.
out there. He was out there for, I want to say 10. That might be a touch long, but I mean, they let this breathe. They let this thing do what it was supposed to do, and it was
Mhm.
great. And then you have AEW, where I don't know if I assume you've seen it because it's all over social media, and AEW is putting this out. And listen, it's obvious where their mentality is now because the spot where John Moxley gets suplexed onto the uh 2x4 with nails sticking out of it.
Oh yeah, that's sorry. Yeah.
Just
It was a little I think it was the worst thing I've seen no, it's still not the worst thing I've seen.
it's up
The
there
worst
though.
thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I normally I would give credit to Moxley's acting ability, but I'll be honest, I don't
Oh
think
no, he
he's that
wasn't
good.
acting. I
Yeah,
don't think he
I
was.
I don't think he's that good. That looked gnarly, and that looked like that went way wrong. And it's like, gee, who would have thought that having a bunch of different nails going different directions and going into your back would not work out the way you thought it would?
Exactly.
And I watched because I was just curious. Stevie Richards already did on his YouTube channel. He did sort of an opinion piece on this, and he brought up a good point. He was like, "Those nails are going into your spine potentially, and it's not
Yeah,
just one."
it was a gimmick. Um, like nails, they weren't like completely like
Well, yeah,
from
I
Home
would hope
Depot.
so, but still, I mean, it doesn't take
But-
it doesn't take that. But I mean, they must have painted them to look like they were rusty or something, because those
yeah, yeah.
I can't.
Mhm.
I refuse to believe that those were actually just like dirty nails. Like I don't think they're that
Yeah, I don't think they're
stupid.
that crazy. Like
No. But they certainly looked it.
mhm.
Like they did a good job, but I definitely think that spot went wrong
Yeah,
because I don't think it was supposed to stick quite that well.
yeah. I think they probably thought it'll be like the barbed wire where it's dangerous, but it's not, gonna
Yeah.
go that deep. But
I don't know. And the thing is, I'd have a little bit of difference of opinion because I have some thoughts about Revolution for the match that I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, which I also think went way too far. But at least that was a pay-per-view for a championship.
yeah, the I liked the most of the matches. The one match that I liked it is I didn't like the way she got cut open because it was so obvious she stabbed her own self. It was Tony Storm.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
trust
only
me,
part.
I've got thoughts. But before we get to that, um, we both saw Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, it was okay.
It,
It wasn't
it
something that I would watch again. Put that way.
it was funny because my good friend Virus Fox from Toon Talk, he saw it before me and he was like, "Oh my God, it's so great, it's so amazing." And I watched it in the theater and I was kind of like it's not a bad movie. It's a
Mhm.
good little movie. It's an interesting biopic. I will say this much though, if you're not a wrestling fan, this movie is going to put you to sleep.
Honestly, put me to sleep, and I am.
It's slow going. I kind of understand the Iron Claw's a better movie.
That put me to sleep too.
But I was gonna say
It was no,
it
no, but it
has
was completely was better than that.
it has some of the same problems because
Mhm.
that's the dancing game you're playing with a biographical movie is you're compressing someone's lifetime, certainly their professional lifetime or even a part of it. You're basically squishing 20 years into 2 hours.
Exactly.
And you have to do that in a way that's cohesive. And ironically, the biggest problem when you're trying to do that is pacing to not put your audience to sleep. Um, I don't know a ton about Mildred Burke, but based upon what I know, they got a lot of things right. However, I do have to point out the grossest inaccuracy, which I don't remember her name, but the wrestler that dies
Uh-huh.
in the ring.
Yeah, and I heard she didn't actually die in the ring. Like she
Yeah,
died like 30 years later.
she's a real person. Oh, she died
Yeah.
all right in 1996.
Yeah. That part I don't like because if it's going to be a biopic, sure you're going to embellish with some things, but
You can
don't just
hurt her.
outright lie.
You can absolutely hurt her. I don't mind
Yeah.
that. Hurt her, absolutely. Um, or create a fictional character that's a composite. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. They have, but I get
Yeah.
it narratively. They have to build up now. Why that was kind of May's story,
Hmm.
which by the way, I'm just gonna great thing about that movie, other than Jim Cornette being the NWA commissioner, I popped
Yeah.
so hard for that. I thought that was hilarious. And the fact that Naomi was the worst actor in the entire movie.
He was. I
That
think
was
honestly,
bad.
I honestly thought she was going to be not to be like the best Academy Award winning, but at least a little bit more of her
Yeah,
personality,
a
like
little bit.
Total Divas. She was
Yeah,
kind of good on that.
yeah, yeah. She is kind of in the background. Although, and the thing is, I know the actress that plays the oh, what's her name? I can't remember. She's
Camilla,
the what's that?
Camilla.
I think so. That sounds right.
She's
I've se-
the
I've
big tall
seen, yeah, the
tall
really
girl.
tall.
Yeah,
I've
yeah, yeah.
seen her in something, or at least somebody that
Oh,
looks just like her.
uh-huh.
She did good.
Yeah, she
I
did.
was really
I
into
was
her
surprised.
performance and her character. And then, but I gotta say, the one who takes the cake, the actress that plays Mae Young,
Yeah, yeah.
nailed it. And not only that, if you go back and look at pictures of Mae Young from like the 30s through the 50s,
Hmm.
dead ringer, fantastic casting.
Some of the casting was off and some was like spot
Some
on.
was spot on.
Yeah.
They, and to be fair, I understand why they did this. That woman looks nothing like the real Mildred Burke.
No, no, she has the slight muscle tone of her,
Hmm.
but but if you look like the pictures of her, like Mildred is way bigger. I
Yeah,
mean, muscle wise, like her arms is double.
yeah, yeah. Mildred was a big gal. And then the
Yeah.
other, I think I understand why they did this. I was
Hmm.
really surprised that there was not even a mention, and she should have been in the movie, no mention
Uh-huh.
whatsoever of the fabulous Moolah.
Oh, well, oh, it could be two things or one thing. She was into to be in the Hall of Fame one year, and
Hmm.
then people start looking at her past, seeing that she was like a
Yeah,
pimp.
yeah.
So so
That's the because I will say this because I
so
dug into
that
that because
might be.
well because there was like three times they would introduce a new girl and I'm like, oh, it's Moolah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then it turned out to not be Moolah. Um,
Hmm.
and I watched that episode of Dark Side of the Ring, so I know what the accusations are. But from what I've seen, there's just as many people that were saying that wasn't the case. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
But
I
that
heard
I
from
think,
some old wrestlers said that she used to like use girls to pimp no and get no bookings and stuff. but
yeah,
was it true or not? I don't know.
I don't know. But that's the
Possibility.
only reason I could fathom that she wasn't included in the movie is because of that. Which,
But I heard the same for Mae Young, like not as to the extent, but I heard like she was there too, so she wasn't
yeah,
like unknown.
I've heard that, but I also didn't know. Apparently, Mae Young is a lesbian. I didn't know that.
I can see it.
Like I said, like in the movie, I'm like, okay, this is starting to make more sense. This is really starting to make more sense. And then I looked it up, and I don't think she. I could be
Oh
totally
yeah, I
wrong
did
here.
heard that. Yeah, yeah, I heard that before. Like I heard she just went with anyone. It didn't actually matter.
Well, what's funny though is the whole because the movie actually does a really good job of kind of implying it, and they don't really
Uh-huh.
outright state it until much later in the movie. They kind of hint at it a couple of times,
Uh-huh.
but then there's a line where the guy's like, "Same reason you sleep with a different broad in every town," and I'm like, "Oh, so she
Yeah.
is okay. I get it." That being said, though, I think May's, which again, this is a very somewhat WWE. Well, it's not a somewhat. This is a very WWE friendly production because they have the little gag with Vince Senior mentioning Vince Junior and all that.
Yeah.
Um, I, to me, it seemed like Mae Young's involvement was a little bit too much, particularly in the last match at the
Yeah.
climax.
Uh-huh.
And then this movie also does one thing that I really don't like, which to praise it, the wrestling scenes are done really well. They're very
Yeah.
effective, almost too effective because my other pet peeve in wrestling movies is when they always make like they always kind of tiptoe around the fact that it's scripted, right? In the movies. And every single match that you see in the movie is like a real shoot fight.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, like shoots happened, but to quote Jim Cornette's, shoots happened, but most of the time when you knew it was a shoot, it wasn't a shoot,
Yeah.
you know, which this being in hindsight, is like I do know because I read about this after the fact. I do know that the match where Mildred won the title from the California girl that Tony Storm played.
Yeah.
I don't know if it went down exactly like that, but from what I understand and what I've read and or been told is that is at least thought to have been a shoot.
I think it was, but
I think
again,
it was. Um,
that's the problem with like older movies. It's hard to know what's actually real and what they wrote in, like or what they embellish a little bit more.
oh, I'm sure a ton was embellished, but it is a fact that oh, what's it? Wolf? I forget his first name. Is it
Yeah, yeah,
Jack
yeah,
Wolf or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah,
It is a fact that they got married. He cheated on her. They stayed business partners. I don't know if the business with his son, but I mean, I think that seems like a very random thing to put in a movie to not be true. And plus, it
yeah,
was known that there was a pretty substantial age gap, so it would make sense. Blah 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 blah. But no, overall, I'd give it a solid B minus. It's a good little movie, especially if you're a wrestling fan. You'll appreciate some of the nods and the tips of the hat, and it's worth it just to see Jim Cornette.
yeah. Honestly, I would give it probably like just a C.
Well, yeah,
Honestly,
but
just
you
a C.
hate everything. Give it a C for
For
Costco.
no,
No,
but
I get it because it
I
is.
kind no, but I did honestly. I kind of enjoyed this a little bit more than the Iron Claw. I did.
It
Um,
didn't. I will say this much: it didn't meander in the third act like a lot of these movies do.
yeah, yeah. It was a little more digestible. I put it that way. To me,
It
it
kind
would
of
have
got
been
faster as the movie went
yeah,
along,
yeah.
which was
It's
nice.
exactly.
I
To me, it should have
also
been like episodes. Like it should have been like a 5-part episode on Netflix. To me,
I
it would
I
have
gotta
been
say,
better.
yeah, a mini series.
Yeah.
I think that would be really interesting, but it comes down to would they have the numbers?
Okay. Honestly, I think they would have more numbers if they did it that way than they did like in the movies. It's not even like I can't even watch it now. They
Yeah,
removed from
that's
all the
true.
movies.
I
So
almost, yeah, I ended up having to s- like speed to a theater after work because it
yeah,
was very limited show times here.
exactly. And they didn't make much off of it. Like last time I saw it, they put in I think a couple of million and they made maybe 600,000 back.
Ooh, actually,
So
yeah, I wanna look that up.
I'm not sure
Which
how accurate it is because like on one site it says they put in 10 million. I don't know if they put 10 million for that. If they did, that's sad.
we'll see. We'll see if I can find it. Oh, ooh, that's rough. I don't have the budget, but the box office is
Yeah, yeah, that's what I saw
$602,104.
too. 600. And they put in 10 million and only got back six. That is insane.
An average review of 6.4 out of 10. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. To me, maybe they didn't know, but if they even they put in 1 million and just got back 600, even that's a loss.
Yeah, that's oof. Well,
And
they
they
clearly
had to pay
did.
like a
Yeah.
few stars in there, like wasn't Jim Carrey in there for a bit? So
I don't know. Was he?
yeah, yeah, I thought he was. He had like a beard and everything. He took a bump. I
Oh,
could
if
have
he
sworn
was,
that was Jim
I
Carrey.
didn't see him. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they got
And
him, Jim.
yeah. So this movie does have some indie film problems. Like, for example, and frankly, I think it would have been a better movie. This film devotes a lot of time to Gorgeous George,
Yeah, yeah.
which they were friends. He and Mildred
Uh-huh.
were friends, but honestly, that's the movie I'd pay to see.
Yeah. It was more appealing. Like I was more interested.
Yeah. Well, because it's like you have to understand, like Gorgeous George would not be. I mean, Gorgeous George being replicated today and dialed up even more. Like
Mhm.
it's not a big deal that he'd be celebrated. You gotta understand when he was doing that, people wanted to kill him.
Oh yeah, like and the other thing is I know of him. Like I
Yeah,
never in my life heard of Mildred before this movie. Never heard of her at all. But I know who George is. Like
yeah,
even Dark Side of the Rain did a really good one on him.
yeah. I had actually I knew of Mildred Burke before, and I had actually heard JR
Okay.
talking about what would become this movie all the way back. I think it was in 20, it was either 2020 or 2018.
Oh, okay.
It's been going, he was like, they're putting together a movie about Mildred Burke. And I'm like, oh, that's,
Cool.
yeah. I think if this movie had had more money, it would have just gotten more of a push. But the way it
Maybe.
was marketed, it was pretty much only marketed to wrestling fans. So
And the other thing, maybe they would have picked someone else. May Young. I think they would have been like a biopic of May Young, and it would have been
I
better
mean,
almost.
I get Mildred Burke because she was kind of the trailblazer
The
for
star.
those
Yeah, I understand.
those kind of like your
Mhm.
May Youngs, your Fabulous Moolahs, your
Absolutely.
yeah. But but yeah, the actress who plays May is pretty small. But
Yeah.
kudos to her because she put on some muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
She looked
Um,
like a she looked the part, but just like a shrunken down version.
exactly. She's a vegan version.
It's kind of like the Triple H from Young Rock. Just his instead of I'm Triple H, it's I'm Triple H. Look at the Rock. Ugh. But that's a show I enjoyed. Oh well, there you go. There's
Yeah.
a wrestling television series that apparently did decently. Did three
It did.
seasons.
I didn't see much of it, honestly. I saw maybe a few episodes, clips here and there, but I never actually followed it.
It's kind of worth watching just to see how it's really funny because the with the exception of Dwayne's iterations
Yeah, yeah,
versions,
yeah. Uh-huh.
the actors who they get to play him actually look pretty similar. It pretty much stops there. Everybody else is a like a really bad like if you ordered Stone Cold from Wish, this is what you get.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I seen that one.
Except he gets the voice down pat, but yeah, especially once he goes bald. When he still has hair, it's not that bad. And then, like I said, the actor they get to play Triple H is like, this looks nothing like Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And then don't get me started on the guy they get to play Vince.
Oh, I didn't see him, but did I see him? Let me check.
There's no way, I'll put it this way, there's no way Vince McMahon signed off on that casting. There's no way. I'm sure he was very angry with that. But like we said, if you haven't seen it yet, you should absolutely watch Queen of the Ring because if nothing else, you're supporting an up and coming filmmaker. Actually, Ash Avildsen, the director and writer, is the son of I'm forgetting his first name, John Avildsen, I think, the director of Rocky and the Karate Kid.
Oh, oh, cool. Didn't know that.
And it's funny because once I learned that, I was like, I see some similarities between this and
Oh yeah, and
Rocky.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When you said, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think it
I
would
see.
have been. That's why I think it would be better if it was made in that way, of like seasons maybe, or even like Hills, because the she's
Heels
from
is
Arrow,
great. Yeah,
and he did Hills, so
which that's a great show if you haven't seen it. It's on Netflix now, so you don't have to get Showtime. I believe it was on
yeah,
Showtime before, but now it's on Netflix, and that show is fantastic.
I have to catch up with it. I seen the
Ooh,
first
I need to
season.
catch up. Yeah, the man, the first season cliffhanger. Holy
Yeah,
crap! That's
I have to watch the other seasons.
yeah, Heels is great. So watch Heels too if you haven't. But another thing you should definitely check out, especially if you make content like us, is our friends at Vizard.ai because it's no secret. Short form content is the way of the future. It's the number one growth tool of our podcast and pretty much anybody who's ever, gotten big on YouTube. It's all about shorts as far as getting your name out there. The only
Yeah,
problem, Hakeem, with shorts is they take a very long time to make. It's
no, opposite
extremely
of the
time
name.
consuming. Yeah, it's extremely time consuming. But after I discovered Vizard.ai, Take today, for example. Guess how many shorts I made today, Hakeem, in the span of working on it here and there a couple
15.
hours? Oh no, 85. I made 85 shorts today in the span of a couple hours going back and forth because I was supposed to be working. But I said, screw that. I want to make shorts. So yeah, I churned out 85 high quality
Wow.
pre-edited shorts. And now I chose to eliminate the captions, which you can do with Visor.ai. But if you don't want to do that, you absolutely can leave them in. You can tweak them, you can edit the shots. You can do all that within the platform. And the best part is you don't even need to upload your physical video. You just need the YouTube link. So you take this podcast, for
Oh, that's cool.
example. Yeah, give it
That's
the
really
link
convenient.
and it auto
Mhm.
generates the clips in a few minutes and then you can select what you want and every time you give feedback it gets their AI gets a better idea of what you're looking for in terms of what clips and you can get go in and set different parameters like you can search for keywords, you can eliminate pauses, you can choose the length of the clips you want. It's awesome. And the best part, since this company's so awesome and I talked to them very early because I realized how good it was the first time I used it, they are giving our listeners a special price if they sign up using our link and using the promo code DTM. You get 5% off your first 12 months,
It's good.
which
80% is
it's
good.
already a great price. So you save that much more, guys, and you help the podcast out. So if you're a content creator, you definitely need to check out Visor.ai in the description. Use our promo code and save. now, now you watched Revolution. I haven't, but
I did. Dude.
alrighty.
It was
So
really good. I gotta remember it, but it's really
I can
it's really
help with that.
it's really I enjoyed it. I It was some parts that took me out of it. The last part, honestly, I could have done without
Well,
Moxie.
it is an
Coke.
AEW show. So apparently
Yeah.
we started the
Mhm.
oh good lord, there were 14 matches on this thing.
Oh,
Um
but it went so quick. Honestly, it was the pacing was pretty good. It didn't feel like it was like 5 hours or it
oh
was
no,
really good.
I'm sorry, there's only 12 because they were counting the pre-show. So the
Yeah.
pre-show we had Commander and Hologram with Alex Abrahantes for some reason um against Lee Johnson and Blake Christian.
Hmm.
Lee and Blake lost. Then we had Daniel Garcia along with the Undisputed Kingdom against Shane Taylor Promotions.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, it was okay, but it's like I'm not a fan of all these like 3 men
I was gonna say it's an
team
8-man
matches.
tag, so
Yeah, I'm not a fan of all. To me, it's too many guys.
oh, I forgot about this, but the Costco guys are back.
Oh yeah, yes, that was the part that took me out of it, and that set me up to say like, oh, this is gonna be trash. Once I saw them, well, his dad,
Yeah. Oh wait, so are Big Justice and the Rizzler two different people?
Big Justice is the Costco guy.
Well, then who's Big Boom AJ?
I have no idea. I know it was just. I'm pretty sure that was his name.
Yeah, that's the wrestler, and then Big. Oh, so
Yeah.
it looks like he's got two kids.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, wait, who's the Rizzler? Oh, okay, he's somebody different. So yes, okay, they are two different. I thought they were the same person. So Big Boom, AJ, and Big Justice are the Costco guys, and the Rizzler is some other social media person, which makes sense why he was out there with Orange Cassidy. And they were John Morrison's back, Johnny TV,
Oh yeah, he was. His wife was there too.
yeah, with MM Collection, Mansoor, and Mason
Oh
Madden with
yeah.
Taya Valkyrie, and yes, for apparently this happened. Um, and of
I
course
don't
the
think they're
Casa
signed. MNM, the Maxim model guys. I think they just
model
go
guy.
around for different promotions.
They're just doing the circuit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did it
Well,
for.
Of course, the Costco dork and Orange Cassidy won, and Mark Briscoe was there too for some reason. And that match
Yeah,
was almost
he
13.
was on the Costco guys
Yeah, that
side.
match was almost 13 minutes long.
It
So
should have been too.
I was gonna say that's a thing that happened. But our first real match of the night saw Hangman Page versus MJF. Now I've seen on Dynamite they were building up to this.
Yeah,
Um, I'm just now getting back into Dynamite. What the hell happened to Hangman Page?
his look.
I mean, all of it.
uh,
Just what is going on with this?
it's a lot of them like seem a little not like the same.
Yeah. Although not to get off topic, but I do want to give AEW some praise because Kenny
Mhm.
Omega returned not this week on last week on Dynamite. Kenny Omega
Yeah.
returned, and I don't know who changed his entrance, but whoever did deserves a medal, whether that was his idea, Tony's idea, or somebody else's idea, because he
Okay.
no longer. It's the first time, and I'm not being hyperbolic here. It's the first time in AEW that they have presented Kenny Omega like a legitimate star.
Yeah, it was really good.
I mean, he certainly did not dress up for the occasion, but
He never does.
that's kind of his deal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But that being said, he's walking out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, finally, he looks like a legitimate star. So there's hope for the future. In AEW, he looked like a legit star in New Japan, but
That's the thing I don't understand. It's like, well, I do kind of understand. I really think he likes New Japan or Japan in general better than here because, like, he seemed happy. He seemed motivated when he's here. It seems like he just wants to like get it over with
yeah, I
when he
mean,
talks. You know.
yeah. But I mean, even the promo wasn't god awful. I mean, it was damn good for Kenny Omega,
Oh
but
yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was. To be fair, I think he's been feeling really bad for a long time.
I think so too. I honestly, yeah, I think
Well,
after
I didn't know he
that,
had diverticulitis,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so he's. I didn't realize this, but everybody is kind of lucky that he's still able to wrestle. Like
Hmm.
that's potential death. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know
for
how long he had it because honestly, he seemed this way not from the very beginning, but even early on, he seemed like he was out of it, not like himself.
it may have been a case where he had it for a while and didn't know it.
Yeah,
Because if I remember
he just
correctly,
knew
that
something was
was
off.
yeah. If I remember correctly, it was the same for Brock Lesnar. He had it for a bit.
Yeah, even Shane McMahon, he had it for a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. It's no joke. Like
Yeah.
that can turn fatal really quick. So kudos to AEW and or whoever made that decision, because for the first time, your top star actually looked like your top star.
Yep.
So kudos to that. Um, MJF won. I mean, I'm sorry, MJF lost
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah. Uh,
Which I don't.
MJF
MJ
is not MJF anymore. It's not the
he's
same.
got to be going to WWE.
Honestly, even if he's going to WWE, it feels like in general himself is not the same. Like he don't wrestle the same. He's haven't been working out the same like he was at one point. He's
I'll be
flat.
honest. I'll be honest. This is pure speculation on my part, but based on what I've seen, I think I was right. Way back when they did that stupid babyface MJF angle with Adam Cole, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he went into Tony's office and said, Tony, this is fucking stupid. It's going to ruin my character and it will never be the same after this. And then Tony goes, no, it'll be great, blah, it'll be really fun and blah 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 blah. MJF did it against his better judgment because he wants to, make his boss happy and do what he's told. And he ended up being
Money.
100% right. And now he's just phoning it in until he can get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Like so many other towns. Ricky Starks did it. Ricky Starks did the exact same thing.
Well, they removed Ricky way faster. Like it was
Well,
like he was
yeah.
injured and then he was gone. Never
Well, but
came back after that foot injury.
they also couldn't figure out what to do with him. So I'm sure he was
Which is
frustrated.
I don't understand why. They did the same with Hobbs
Yeah, you know what you
for a
do with
bit.
Ricky Starks? You send him out to the ring and say, "Go get him,
Yeah,
Tiger," because like he's got this. And then
yeah.
Hobbs was in a match last week on Dynamite, and it's like, why is he even in this thing? This makes no sense. Why is he teaming with these dorks?
At one point they repackaged him like some crime boss or something. He looked phenomenal. He was like the Hurt Business before the Hurt Business
Why
came
is he not
to
in the Hurt
AEW.
Biz?
I guess because Bobby is just as big.
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
know.
fair enough.
So they can't have
Fair
two big
enough.
guys.
Fair enough. So interesting though, because we're talking about a bit of a diatribe, but I also watched on NXT the Hardy Boys had a
Oh yeah.
fantastic match against the NXT Tag Champs, but I noticed something. The Hardys wrestled different, Jeff in particular. They're wrestling a style that is more conducive to their age.
Oh yeah, yeah. Matt was talking about that before. He wrestles a little less than he did before, and at
Yeah.
least hopefully Jeff will stick to it too,
Well, I
or
noticed it
something.
with Jeff more so. He
Yeah,
even, and I don't know if this, I would imagine, I think at some point Jeff, maybe probably because of Matt, if I had to guess, but Jeff at some point sat down with someone who was like, look, dude, you're not 20 anymore. You can't consistently do, not to say he can't do it, but like you can't consistently do the whisper in the rim like you could when you
yeah,
were 24. You just
exactly. It's no reason.
and you can't well and you can't be expected to do it because God, they're pushing 60 now, aren't they? Maybe not 60,
Like
maybe
50,
50.
55, maybe.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna look that up because I know Matt's older, but Jeff Hardy. Okay, 47, but still okay, so you're pushing 50.
Oh wow.
But still, like
Honestly, I didn't think that was that younger.
I know, right? Sorry,
That-
Jeff. Well, okay, but you're pushing 50 and you've done all the crazy
it's the
things you've done.
damage. Yeah.
So physically, you're probably 84. A very athletic 84, but 84 nonetheless. And I'll be honest, I liked it. I liked the style they're wrestling now because you don't need to do the Hardys don't need to do all that stuff anymore.
Yeah. That what Matt was saying. He was like, they know who you are, Jeff. Like, you don't have
Yeah,
to prove that you're Jeff. You know?
yeah. You do not have to do that. So that was a really good match. I was kind of surprised how much I liked the match. Mm. And then let's see. Next we had Mercedes, as our friend Jim Cornette would say, Mercedes Moon
Oh.
defeated Momo Wananoya. Defeated Mercedes Monet defeated Momo Watanabe for the TBS title. She retained. Okay, I
It was
actually
one of the
heard
better matches.
really
It
because
was honestly,
I
yes.
heard people were like telling her to get out the ring, or I might be thinking of a different match. I don't know. Although I fell for a clickbait headline though, because apparently because she had her blue hair back from back when her Sasha Banks days.
Yeah.
I saw an article in Sportskeeda that said "Welcome back, Sasha Banks," and I was like, "Wait, what?" I was all excited, and then I read the article, and I'm like, "Oh, you got me. You got me good." Um, and
With her, I
then,
don't know if she'll
oh,
ever go back to WWE. She might when she's a little bit older,
I hope so, dude, because this is not working.
but to be honest, for me, everywhere she went besides WWE, she weren't that good. Even when she went to like
New
New
Japan.
Japan, yeah, yeah, it was okay, but
I think Mercedes is one of, and this is not. I'm not dogging on her,
mhm.
and she'd know better than me. She's an actual wrestler. I just host a podcast. She strikes me as one of the wrestlers that is not good at booking herself.
Yeah,
I think she needs to be told what to do and how to do it because there's no denying Sasha Banks matches are great.
I love her with Charlotte. When they did
Yeah.
the first Hell in the Cell. That
Ah,
was
so good.
really good.
Even going back to NXT, man, her match with Becky is awesome. It was great. But I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? Because Japan was supposed to be her big, break, and then, eh, it just, it was whatever. But then we had Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet to determine the number one contender for the
I really
AEW
liked
World
this one.
Championship. I heard this one was good. I heard this one was really good.
It was the best I've ever seen Ricochet.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. By far none.
I can't. It's funny because it goes for Ricochet as a Ricochet fan. Ricochet and AEW kind of alternates weekly for me because some weeks I'm like, wow, okay, he's doing really good. And then the next week he does something really dumb.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
Like I watched a
But
match he had with Shibata where I watched
oh, okay, okay.
where I watched him oversell and then they did okay, they'd established earlier in the match that him slapping Shibata was not effective, so then they did the whole sit down in the center of the ring and hit each other, which just logically, if I've already hit the guy and it didn't work, why would I sit there and let him hit me? I, I don't know. It just. But then the week before, I thought he had a great match. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of how it's been for the last what 6 months, I believe. But I still say like in AEW, he feels like he's going to be a star, versus like in WWE, he had like a ceiling. He was only going to be a mid card at best.
you know what's funny though? I think it's because of his name.
That he was going to be a mid card only.
Because I just don't think you can take unless
I
Ricochet's
was,
like what
I was going to say it was because they added that thing to his like interest music.
that didn't. Okay, so I'll be honest. The one and only theme he had in NXT was
Yeah.
great. He felt
Hmm.
like a star. And
Yeah.
if
Sure.
they had, I'm going to be honest. When he came to
Mhm.
NXT, I was really excited, but I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
but his name's Ricochet. Like you can't take it seriously. In NXT, you took it seriously because they booked him well,
Yeah.
and then they added that, and I'm
Bing.
like,
And
oh,
like,
it's too
I
on the
heard that I
nose.
was like, oh no.
And
It's
here's the
kind of
thing,
like Braun Strowman when they added the choo choo sound. It's-
because Braun wasn't on the nose enough,
yeah.
but oh wow, I was gonna say something. I So the first thing about Ricochet though is he actually like his real name is a great wrestler name.
I don't even know his name.
His real name is Trevor Mann.
Yeah, especially his first name is really good.
Yeah, Trevor's good, and then it's
Yeah.
Mann. But like, yeah, and I'll just inject some
Yeah.
human growth hormone to get your voice a little bit deeper, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, yeah. He always sounds like he's going to cry. He's another one. Like,
Okay, I have to. Wow, this is going back, and nobody will get this reference because it was local. Um, there's a local radio station where I live, and they used to have. Well, I guess Carlos Diaz used to be. He was in LA, but he used to do like syndicated radio, so he'd call in to different. And he was like the guy from LA that would do entertainment news.
Mhm.
And he did this one bit one day, which he was very funny. But he did this one bit where he was making fun of Taylor Lautner because this was after Taylor Lautner got famous from Twilight, and then he did one action movie.
Okay.
And it was
Uh-huh.
when that action movie came out, and he was like, "Yeah, Taylor Lautner's in a shoot 'em up action movie, and I can't take him seriously because it's like the camera pans to Taylor, and he goes, "You in the face." And like, that's kind of a Ricochet promo.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna beat you up, huh? You know? Yeah, I don't. I mean, hopefully, I've been wrong before, and I'll be very thankful if Ricochet were able to. Well, I was gonna say he's already been a world champion, which I mean he has, but in Lucha Underground. But technically, that wasn't Ricochet. Technically, that was Prince Puma. It was a different
Honestly, he
character.
could have brought that name back. Prince Puma,
I
PP.
mean, I don't think he. That's a whole different kind of Ricochet. You don't want that. Actually, I don't think he can because I'm pretty sure Lucha Underground still owns that.
I don't know.
Somebody should buy. Vince McMahon should buy Lucha Underground.
He should. Yeah. Somebody.
Somebody should buy Lucha Underground. Come on, bring it back. Bring
Stereo
it.
should buy it. If he should, he might for it. Could for it. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
how much it's
I
going
think
for.
Penta and Phoenix still own a part of the Crash in Mexico. Maybe they should buy it. Doubt they have the money. Well, I don't know. Penta's making that WWE money now, and so I'm pretty sure that Phoenix is already there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
They're
He was
doing
released about a couple of weeks ago, like 3 weeks or
yeah,
so.
they're doing the back and forth thing where I'm pretty sure sometimes it's Chad Gable under that stupid American Lucha mask, and sometimes it's Phoenix,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which is so not the way. You guys should have listened to me. I don't know, but anyway, it would have been so much better.
Hope
But
they put like a different mask on him if he is there, because
oh,
I
I
hope they
think
change it up
yeah,
and
I
don't
think this
mix
is
him up with
temporary.
the other guy, not Ray Phoenix. Yeah, Ray Phoenix. No, not
Yep,
Ray Phoenix.
Dragon Lee.
Yeah, Dragon Lee. There's another one too, but he's not there no more. I don't think. Yeah,
I don't think
never mind.
Kalisto's still there.
Yeah, yeah. He's not there no more. Okay.
No. Swerve Strickland won, so he is now the number one contender for the AEW World Championship,
Yep.
and he will face John Moxley, who came out and attacked him like a bitch. Like that was very like that's not Mox.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it is now, but that just felt eh. Like last time I checked, John Moxley didn't have to attack his opponent when he wasn't looking, but wasn't he out there a
I just
couple
know what
weeks
happened to
ago?
him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
wasn't Moxley out there a few weeks ago or like a month ago bitching and moaning about how there's nobody left in AEW to fight me?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's true. And now he
Well,
goes to attack them.
yeah,
Again.
okay. Well, I mean that's par for the course with 1 week Mox is a heel and the next week he's not, but and
Yeah, I don't know.
next we had Kazuchika Okada versus Brody King for the AEW Continental Championship.
This was okay, but honestly, this was kind of like a match that could have been on regular TV. It
Yeah,
didn't really have to be on a pay per view.
yeah, as we've come to find with many AEW pay-per-views, about half the matches are basically I mean good TV matches, but TV matches.
Yeah. Mhm.
Although it was it was fun. I was listening to I think it was the drive. It was the I would actually think it was the experience, but they were talking about how so they're going to do a tournament to crown the number one contender for the international title that Kenny Omega has. And Okada is in that tournament. So they think they might be heading up to a point where it's Kenny Okada and they unify the belts. And then Jim, not missing a beat, goes, well, that would be the Intercontinental Championship. And I'm like, you're not wrong. That is absolutely what it would be. Okada won, by the way. So
Yeah.
he's still the AEW Continental Champion.
Honestly, when I see him, it's like kind of sad because like no one who sees him now will actually see what he used to be or the potential he had
I mean,
or how
same with
amazing he
Kenny,
was.
really.
Yeah, but at least with Kenny, you can still see him in a lot of matches. That's still Kenny, but I
especially in
haven't seen one
early,
color
yeah,
once.
especially in early AEW. You didn't so much
Yeah.
see it in the spectacle of the booking of
Hmm.
the match, but you saw it in the
Hmm.
match.
That's what I mean. Exactly.
Yeah. And then next, we saw the Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners.
I didn't like this. I liked it, but I didn't like it because I like both teams, and I didn't want the Outrunners to lose, but I knew they had to lose.
I was gonna say they did. Is now
Yeah.
the so the Hurt Syndicate is still the AEW Tag Team titles. And before we get to the next match, which is honestly what everybody is talking about,
Yeah. I would consider it the match of the night.
I'm going to let you know about another wonderful podcast on our network, especially if you're a Star Trek fan. You're definitely going to want to check out the Final Frontier podcast, where every week myself and my cohort, my first officer Justin, watch an episode of Star Trek and then we tear it apart. Usually take the piss out of it, but we sing its praises more often than not. But our last episodes are coming up. We're getting to the end of season 1, so we're going to be
So
wrapping that up shortly, and
keep
then
track.
take a small break and then bring it out back out for season 2. But check it out. Second link in the description. And now we are coming to the match that everyone is talking about, at least until Moxley suplexed onto a board of nails. Timeless Tony Storm defends her title against Mariah May in a Falls Count Anywhere match, and apparently a who passes out from blood loss first
Yeah,
match.
it was a bloodbath.
Not in a good way.
I didn't mind the bloodbath. I mind the way it happened when she got okay. If she would got hit somewhere else, or it was like a more devastating move, she got knocked into stairs, and then like poke her head in the head and blood. Like it didn't make sense. You, it was just the stairs. It was like I seen that move like 100 times, so it wouldn't make sense for her to be like gushing blood after getting knocked into some.
Well, again, and
That part I didn't like.
there's a reason I'm wearing this shirt in particular, because Jim
Hmm.
made a very good point. He said this reeked of desperation.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. It could have
He's
been really good if they didn't if they planned out better.
well,
Not
because he had said it was all in how it was framed.
yeah,
Because this match was put together so that both of the girls could bleed as much as humanly possible. If
yeah,
it had instead been both of the girls bled because this was the blowout of a long running feud and the match escalated to that point, it would have been completely different. But the way this match was put together, and to your point, he
yeah,
bled that much from being thrown into the stairs, something that we see weekly.
yeah. It makes no sense.
It just
The,
doesn't
the
make any
only time I
sense.
ever seen that actually happen and legitimate happen was Kingston when he got knocked into some stairs, but his head hit the corner of it
Yeah,
and like it sliced him open. That I can understand, but but that part made no sense.
none whatsoever. Yeah, I haven't even watched the whole match, but I've seen a lot of long chunks of it, and I just
Yeah.
this is a me thing, I'm sure, but like I I've said this before and I'll say it again. Like all of you AEW fans that just never say anything bad about AEW and are like, "Oh my God, this is so awesome." Like, what do you like about this match? Like, what is it for you? Is it the bleeding girls? Because I
All the
like
blood.
the way you guys talk
Yeah.
about it. It's about the bleeding girls, and
Oh yeah.
it's like, listen, I'm not minimizing anyone's mental health, but like, maybe you could talk to someone and stay away
I
from
didn't
small animals.
yeah. It's like I didn't mind the blood. It's just the way it happened. It felt too forced. It felt like, oh, we want to be like the boys, so let's split out and make it. The match they had before this one,
See
if they
that
play in
one,
that one, okay, sure. But this one,
it
mm,
was too much. It was
yeah,
just too much. It was too much for the wrong reasons.
exactly. they could have toned it down, and like for them both of them to be bleeding made no sense. Like,
That much, yeah. And then the
yeah,
shoe on top of it. Like this is
that
just
part was.
silly. Yeah, it was just silly.
I
But
guess if you
Tony,
like the ECW, you'll like this, but I
oh,
never
I
watched
forgot.
ECW.
You, I'm glad you said ACW because I also saw the part where they stop the match so both of them can grab a bucket of broken glass, tape
Oh
their
yeah,
hands, and do the Ian Axel Rotten
yeah,
Taipei
yeah,
death
yeah,
match is what they used to call
yeah,
them.
like blood sport.
Here's the thing. If this were a real fight, while your opponent is doing that, you would run over there, and since there are no rules, you would find something sturdy, say a chair, a baseball bat, something. And you would walk over there while they have their head down, taping their hand, and bash them in the face and win the match. Instead, you stay in your corner, stare at her while you're doing the exact same thing, and just, oh, with a side of,
Yeah, dude.
that's what kills me because I was watching, actually, I believe it was that Ricochet match where it was that match where it started out good, and then it reached a certain point where the cooperation was so obvious and hokey that it took me out of the match.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I see that in a lot of matches where, again, I hate the part where someone has to stay outside and catch the person, and you see them take like 5 minutes to do the whole setup and look back where they're gonna land and all that stuff.
I wa-
That part.
I watched a video from Mexico where a guy did that and he still landed on his head. There's three
Oh,
guys outside the ring waiting to catch him and he still landed on his head.
did you see Jay Uso did the flop dollar?
I did. Hey, they salvaged that one though. It could have looked way
Did he?
worse. No, he didn't. Better than Flop Dollar did.
At least Jay
Yeah,
did
did he?
admit that he was like he admit that he messed up.
Oh gosh, but anyway, timeless Tony Storm is still timeless, and your AEW Women's World Champion. Which I loved how also on Dynamite Thunder Rosa's like, you don't talk about our champion that way. I'm like, since when are you like? Why
Yeah.
not? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, apparently you two are friends now, which maybe I missed something, but next, we saw Kenny Omega challenge in his surprise return challenge Konosuke Take a Shit for the AEW International Championship, and Kenny won it, which we've already talked about because he came out on Dynamite with the
Yeah.
belt.
And honestly, this was really good. And
It looked like a good match.
it was. And he lost, but he lost in a good way.
Yeah,
Yeah, it shows that he's gonna be a really good star
he
later
looked
on.
almost as strong as Roman did. And then I would imagine this was a good match. I've not seen it, but I heard about it. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage match.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
I heard it
Forgot
was
about that
good.
one.
I
That
heard it
was
was
too.
really
Yeah.
good. Um,
It was.
I, which okay, this sounds really bad coming from me because accents don't normally bother me.
Mhm.
Will Ospreay
Bro.
needs Will Ospreay needs a vocal coach. But here's the thing. I think he's dialing it up on purpose because I've heard him give promos before and I never had a problem understanding him.
Oh, he is. Like if you hear him like on like Insta or he does like a different video, he's not like
Yeah.
that.
Okay. I thought so. I thought he was dialing it up because I
Mhm.
honestly, there's some things I couldn't understand.
I think he just got
There
too
were parts
excited.
I was like, I don't understand what you're saying, Mr. Osprey. And I'm a fan, but I don't.
Honestly, I like that him and Kyle match better than him and Kenny. To me, the Kenny one was a little bit too far. It was like
Well,
I don't know. There was like
that's a Will
Superman
Osprey
versus
match.
Superman.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, that's a Will Ospreay match. Two matches in one. You definitely get
Yeah.
your money's worth. Um, Will Ospreay won that match, and finally we saw John Moxley defend his AEW World Championship against Cope and Christian Cage, which I think this started out as a singles match, right? But didn't Christian
Yeah.
Cage like cash in
He
his
cashed in
yeah, which
Money in the Bank.
again, Jim Cornette, why would you cash in while the match is still going on?
Not only that, I always hate a failed cash in. To me, honestly, it lowers the person who does the cashing in. It
Yeah, it
destroys them.
does. Yeah. And this is like it incentivizes you to cheat. So cheat.
Mhm.
Like don't don't cash in the middle of a match.
Yeah.
Like wait till someone wins and then come out and attack that person. Like
Honestly, especially if you have something against Edge or Adam, why not wait until he wins and then beat him
yeah,
thereafter?
this is this is not hard,
That
but I guess it's because
brings
they
more
wanted to do some
easy.
kind of spot.
I guess so. And I guess they just want to give the belt back to Moxley and not to Christian.
Well,
But at this point, I'd rather give it to Christian.
Moxley was the champion already,
Yeah, yeah.
so I don't know. This feels like Moxley booking. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, I think he's in control of it.
They're like,
It's different from anything in the match.
yeah, it'll
Any
be like the
any of the other
least,
matches.
yeah, it'll be just like Rocky Five, the least popular movie. Which I actually like Rocky Five. I know I'm not. I know I'm a naysayer here. I actually really like Rocky Five. I think it's an underrated.
I like it for what it is. I didn't find it as bad as people thought it was.
See, to me, it was the next logical step because
Yeah,
Rocky had already gone the distance. Then he won the championship.
retired. Yeah,
Then he came back, and then he defeated the Russians. So what are you going to do next? Street fighting. It's
yeah.
logical. It makes sense. And then he comes back and Rocky Balboa, and he's like, I can't do it anymore, Paulie. And Paulie says, you got to, Rock. He's like, okay, I'll do it. I'll just hit him really high. And
I
then
like a lot of movies that people hate. Coneheads,
who
Mario
hates
Brothers.
Coneheads?
Some people do.
Well,
Yeah,
some people like
I love Coneheads.
some
I
people
was
like
watching. Oh
AEW
man.
pay-per-views. Tony Khan probably hates Coneheads. I'm sure he loves Costco too.
Ah.
Uh, Tony Khan strikes me as the kind of guy who buys eggs in bulk.
$1 egg. I can't believe it.
A
It's
dollar an egg,
$1.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
In New York or in Costco?
New York. Oh,
Oof.
stores around. Yeah.
Oh, not here. We're
Like
still,
for one, really?
yeah, we're a little bit cheaper here.
It's like for a dozen, it's around $8.
I think I paid like
Yeah.
5 or 6
There's like 8 for like the sweatshop eggs. And then
sweatshop
like
eggs,
the
caged and no brakes. No, I buy because I'll be honest. I buy premium eggs because I buy the cage free roaming grass all that shit, and I pay extra
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah, I pay
Yeah,
extra
those are my
for it.
favorite too. Eggland's best. Stuff like that.
I forget the brand I buy, but it's one of those the brown like cage free all
Yeah,
that.
I know exactly what I mean. Yeah,
And
those were like 12.
see,
Something crazy.
I think I only paid like $6 after tax. It's weird. You should get your
Um,
groceries delivered from Indiana. Get them from the heartland.
yeah, it's just
Actually,
weird.
I knew a kid that was selling. This is before eggs got stupid. He was selling now, like he has his own chickens, right? So these were like
Oh,
primo.
okay, cool, cool.
He
That's awesome.
was selling a dozen eggs for $5. So it was primo.
That's pretty good. Fresh farm raised.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
To me, it was worth it
yeah.
because the other thing is they last longer too. That's the part they don't tell you.
Hmm. That's true.
If you don't refrigerate them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And England and
Yeah,
UK, other
they don't.
places, they don't.
Well, because they don't scrub off the I forget what it's called, but it's an outer coating on the shell.
Yeah, and they don't bleach them. Over here, they're bleached.
Yeah. Now
Well,
you
for the
can
most
get
part.
brown eggs,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
which I prefer because like I'm telling you, if you've never had like a fresh, it's there's a
It's
big
night and
difference.
day.
It's
It's
night and
really
day.
different.
Like to the point
Yes.
where after I had one, I couldn't even taste like a regular like bleach. Just
Yeah.
ugh.
That's why I call them sweatshop eggs because it tastes just like
They're not
that.
even real eggs. They're
Yeah.
just egg. It's
There's
like
like they're from sad
they just
chickens.
pour that carton of egg product from
It's like back in school.
the
The powdered eggs.
powdered eggs, yeah. Which I am glad though because McDonald's breakfast is my kryptonite, and nowadays they used to have some sandwiches that you could only get like the poured egg, yellow
Yeah,
folded
yeah,
egg
yeah, yeah,
product,
yeah. Yeah.
which I mean it's eggs. It is, but it comes out of
And
something that looks like a milk carton, so I'm not.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas if you get the round egg, it's because I've made them, it's a real egg. It's probably a
Yeah.
crappy egg, but it is a real egg.
Yeah, that's
But you
true.
can substitute generally.
Hmm.
So
Stuff is too high over here. Honestly, it's like around $6.
for what?
It's just too high for a like a breakfast bacon, egg, and
Yeah,
muffin.
you're not too far off from that these days, but
It's just
inflation's a bitch.
it is.
Which is why I can't afford AEW pay-per-views anymore, so I'm glad you can tell me whether they're good or not. I like legit, I used to have $50 set aside for in my, like budget in case there was an AEW pay-per-view, and I can't do that now. Those damn eggs are too expensive.
Thank you, man. It's like honestly for everything. It's just
Yeah,
I don't
everything's
know.
gone up. It's wild. Absolutely wild. Well, that was AEW Revolution and Queen of the Ring. I can't think of anything else I watched wrestling wise that certainly nothing that I remember well enough to want to talk about.
Only thing I would say is I don't know. Mania is coming in what a few weeks or so.
What is?
WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, wow. Okay, yeah, it
Uh,
is. Wow.
it's like is it like 3 weeks?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's why I gotta believe they're I think Cena's gonna win the title.
yeah. Yeah, more than likely he will.
Oh, he's gonna cheat, but he's gonna win it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And then
Uh,
I think this whole thing's gonna go for a little while, and then The Rock's gonna come around and try to go in, and then Cena will eventually redeem himself and help Cody win the title back. And
that part I hope not, because unless Cody turns heel,
maybe
that's the only way I want to see that again.
they
Like
just
honestly, I'm
full
kind of
full
tired.
of flip reverse and Cody kicks Cena in the nuts.
Yeah,
Except Cody could do
it's
that
just
now, and
yeah,
he'd be
he'd be
totally
justified.
justified. Well, everybody, I'm falling asleep. This has been the Down
Me
the Middle
too.
podcast. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. Go watch Queen of the Ring, watch wrestling, check out our sponsors, and we will see you guys in a couple weeks. And don't miss next week, a new episode of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up will be released. Which I say new, it's not new, it's 18 years old, but it's new for
It's
you.
old new.
It's
It was
old
pretty
new, it's
funny. The
retro.
guy was behind the couch.
Oh, dude, I forgot. Every time I watch one of those episodes, like I totally forget. And I'm like, wow, comedy has changed. Um, it's funnier than I remember though, but like
Mhm.
some of those jokes, I'm like, ooh,
Nah,
not really,
still, it's
because
like, yeah, it's like I've heard worse.
oh no, and
Honestly,
here's the
that's
thing, it was totally his idea.
oh
It was totally his idea. He just started doing that, and we went with it.
yeah,
So like, I don't feel bad about it, but I'm like, oh, it's
the optics.
it gets worse. It gets so much worse.
I can't wait.
It gets really bad, dude. It gets very, 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 very offensive. Funny, but offensive. Well, this has been Down the Middle. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check us out in 2 weeks when we'll do our next live stream. Like I said, next week, new episode of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up, and we